All right, UPSC champions, let's get this deep dive started. We're looking at January 29th, 2025, and you know what that means. A whole new batch of current affairs to unpack, all curated with your exam prep in mind.
You got it. We've got a pretty interesting mix today. Everything from farmer-focused policies to some amazing cultural highlights, even a bit of space exploration thrown in, just like the UPSC exam, right? A bit of everything.
Exactly. Okay. So first up, let's talk about the big news for farmers. The PMFBY seems like it's finally getting that expansion everyone's been asking for.
It is. The Pradhan, Mantri, Fasal, Bima Yojana, launched back in 2016. Well, now it's going to cover something super important. Crop damage caused by wild animals. Huge win for farmer groups who've been pushing for this for ages. Could really shift things when it comes to stable incomes in rural areas, maybe even food security overall.
This could be massive for farmers, especially in those areas where, running into wildlife is almost a daily thing. But how do you how do you actually assess the damage? What if a whole herd of elephants decides to have a snack in someone's field?
Well, that's where the tech side comes in. The PMFBY is really leaning into technology now, using things like satellite imaging, even drones, and their mobile apps too.
Hmm.
All this tech is helping make those claim settlements more accurate and efficient.
That's pretty cool, actually. Using high tech for something so, well, I guess you could say down to earth shows how technology is changing everything. Okay, let's switch gears for a sec. From policies to something a bit more heartwarming: conservation. An elephant's been spotted in the Namdapha Tiger Reserve. First time in 12 years.
Right. And this is more than just a cool sighting. It gives us a little bit of hope, for how those conservation efforts are going in the eastern Himalayas. Namdapha is special. It's a real biodiversity hotspot. Got everything there: tropical forests, alpine meadows, you name it. Elephants, tigers, even gibbons. Did you know India has its own ape, the slow loris?
Wow. Seriously, like a mini India of incredible biodiversity all in one place. Amazing. Speaking of unique ecosystems, let's talk about urban conservation. Indore and Udaipur are making headlines. They just got this fancy Wetland City accreditation.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a recognition that comes from the Ramsar Convention. Basically, it means these cities are doing something right. They're taking real steps to protect their urban wetlands. And that's not just good for the environment. It gets them international recognition, maybe even some ecotourism.
Definitely a win-win. It's great to see cities making conservation a priority,
Yep.
not just focusing on development.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for a change of scenery? Let's take a quick trip into space. Scientists have discovered supersonic winds on this exoplanet called WASP 127b, and let me tell you, they are fast.
Like something out of a sci-fi movie. We're talking 33,000 kilometers per hour, way faster than anything in our solar system.
Hmm.
And this WASP 127b, it's a hot Jupiter, much bigger than our Jupiter, but way less dense. What's interesting is it gives us a glimpse into how planets form, how their atmospheres work.
It's mind-blowing to even think about, right, those extreme conditions.
And for anyone prepping for the UPSC, it's a reminder that science and technology are constantly pushing the boundaries of what we know. All right, let's come back down to Earth for a bit, and back to India. You know those beautifully crafted wooden toys from Etikoppaka?
Oh yeah, those are gorgeous. The ones they showcased at the Republic Day Parade this year.
Exactly, those. So much history there.
Centuries, actually. Over 400 years of tradition. They make them from Ankudu wood and use natural dyes. It's incredible. They even got a GI tag back in 2017, official recognition. So yeah, the Etikoppaka toys, they're not just toys, they're art, they're heritage, they're eco-friendly.
Definitely unique. It's fantastic to see those traditional crafts thriving, especially in this age of mass production. Shows how much people still value handmade things.
All right, ready for a little international intrigue? Sweden just seized a ship they suspect was messing with a fiber optic cable under the Baltic Sea. Could be espionage, could be sabotage, who knows?
Sounds a bit like a spy thriller. The Baltic Sea itself is pretty interesting geographically speaking. It's actually one of the youngest seas out there. Brackets water, lower salinity because of all the fresh water flowing in, and tons of islands and archipelagos. It's also a major shipping route and could be a source of offshore energy, so lots at stake there.
Definitely a reminder that geography matters, especially in international relations. Okay, on a more serious note, let's talk about fentanyl. It's a really dangerous opioid, causing a lot of problems, especially in the US. They're even considering slapping some hefty duties on Chinese imports because of it.
Yeah, it's a major public health crisis. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid, super potent. We're talking 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. A lot of it seems to be coming from China, through Mexico and Canada, into the US. It's become a global problem.
Definitely scary stuff. Okay, Let's get back to India and some good news for the environment. There's a big push to protect and conserve the Surajpur wetland in Greater Noida.
It's a really important urban wetland, part of the Yamuna River Basin, crucial for that whole ecosystem. Surajpur is also an important bird area, tons of waterfowl, mammals, all sorts of species. But it's been facing a lot of pollution from wastewater, so the Greater Noida Authority is stepping in to clean things up, restore the natural habitats, and create a proper management plan.
That's great to hear. It's important to remember that even in urban areas, those ecosystems matter. They're vital. Speaking of vibrant traditions, have you heard of the Nagoba Jatara?
Oh yeah, it's a huge tribal festival in Telangana.
Right, and it's happening right now.
It lasts 10 days, celebrated by the Mizoram clan of the Gond tribes. People come from all over India to take part. They honor the serpent god, Nagoba, bring holy water from the Godavari River. There's this Betan ceremony for new brides and this incredible dance called the Kusati dance. It's amazing. Really shows how strong those tribal traditions are, how they keep those communities connected.
It's beautiful how these ancient traditions are still thriving. Okay, last one for today. Something that's going to make life a lot easier for Indian exporters. The government just launched this upgraded Certificate of Origin system, ECOO 2.0.
Yeah, this is a big deal for trade. ECOO 2.0 basically streamlines the whole certification process. It's got multi-user access. You can e-sign with Aadhaar. There's this integrated dashboard. You can even correct errors on older certificates. It's going to cut down on so much paperwork and just make exporting from India a lot smoother. Should be a real boost for businesses.
It's fantastic to see these kinds of initiatives, using technology to simplify things, make things more efficient. It's definitely a step in the right direction.
It's pretty amazing, right? All these things happening, from a new trade policy to a tribal festival, it's all part of the bigger picture of what's going on in India right now. And for anyone getting ready for the UPSC, it's not just about knowing about these things separately, it's about seeing how they all connect, how they fit together.
Yeah, it's like a giant puzzle, and each piece of news, every policy change, every cultural event, they all add another layer to the picture. And speaking of complex puzzles, let's talk about internet shutdowns. It's a hot topic these days. Lots of debate about it.
For sure, it's controversial. It touches on those big issues, digital rights, freedom of speech, even the economy. Authorities often say those temporary shutdowns are necessary to stop misinformation, keep things peaceful, prevent threats.
But then you have the critics who say, hold on, are these shutdowns really justified? Are they being used to silence people, to control information? They point to the economic side, too, especially for businesses that rely on the internet. It's tough, isn't it? Balancing security with individual rights in this digital age.
It is. It's a delicate balance. The key is transparency. Having a clear process for those shutdowns, guidelines, judicial oversight, ways for people to challenge them. Otherwise, they could become a tool for censorship, not a legitimate security measure.
That's the danger, right? Okay, let's shift gears again to education. There's this growing movement for more inclusivity in educational institutions, making sure everyone has a seat at the table, so to speak.
It's about time, really. If India wants a fairer society, this has to happen. And true inclusivity, it goes beyond just letting students from different backgrounds in. It's about building a culture where everyone feels respected, understood, where everyone has the same opportunities.
Exactly. A place where differences are celebrated, not just tolerated. You need to address the curriculum, make sure the infrastructure is accessible, have diversity in the faculty and staff. It's a whole system change.
It is. And it's crucial if India wants to tap into all that potential.
Right.
When you have diversity and inclusivity in education, you get creativity, innovation, critical thinking, all those things a thriving society needs.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, time for a little sports break. We've got this young Indian athlete making history. Their story is incredible. So much dedication, so much perseverance. It's really inspiring, especially for young people who dream big.
Absolutely. It shows that hard work and self-belief can take you anywhere. And it also highlights how important sports are becoming in India. It's not just about the games, it's about empowering individuals, national pride, even boosting the economy.
So true. And speaking of national pride, there have been a lot of high-level diplomatic meetings lately, all about building up regional cooperation. Really interesting to see.
It's a good sign. It shows those countries are willing to talk, to work together. And in a world with so many challenges, climate change, trade wars, security threats, finding common ground is essential. It's not just a good idea, it's the only way forward.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about healthcare for a minute. There's this amazing innovation that's about to change everything. This new tech has the potential to revolutionize how we diagnose and treat diseases. It could even help with prevention. Pretty exciting stuff.
It is. Healthcare is changing so fast. Personalized medicine, gene editing, AI, robotics. It's mind-blowing. And this latest breakthrough, it's just a glimpse of what's to come.
It's almost like science fiction becoming reality, right? But with any powerful tool, you have to think about the ethics, the implications. It's not just about what we can do, but what we should do. Okay, let's switch gears one more time to culture. There's this amazing resurgence of interest in traditional art forms happening right now. It's fantastic to see.
It is. In a world that's so digital, so globalized, it's refreshing to see people appreciating the beauty and depth of those traditional arts. Classical dance, folk music, traditional painting, crafts, they're all expressions of our culture, our identity.
And it's not just about the past, it's about keeping those traditions alive, making sure they continue to evolve. Plus, it has economic implications too. It creates opportunities for artisans, performers, cultural entrepreneurs, especially in rural areas.
Exactly. Culture is never static. It's alive, it changes, each generation brings something new. This cultural revival shows how strong those traditions are, how creative Indians are. It's a reminder that technology can be a powerful tool for building bridges and fostering a sense of community in an increasingly interconnected world. And speaking of interconnectedness, let's shift our attention to a political development, a new initiative aimed at promoting citizen engagement in the political process.
It seems like there's a growing recognition worldwide that democracies thrive when citizens are actively involved. What's interesting about this particular initiative is that it's leveraging technology to empower citizens to have their voices heard, participate in decision-making, and hold their elected officials accountable.
It's about recognizing the power of civic engagement, the importance of an informed and engaged citizenry, and the shared responsibility to shape the future of our democracy. This initiative is a positive step towards empowering citizens and fostering a more participatory political system.
I think for anyone preparing for the UPSC, this highlights the evolving nature of governance and the increasing role that technology and citizen participation play in shaping public policy. Okay, let's move on to an economic trend that's been generating a lot of buzz lately, the growth of the sharing economy.
This innovative economic model is creating new opportunities for entrepreneurship, resource sharing, and consumer choice, but also raising questions about regulation, labor standards, and the impact on traditional businesses. The sharing economy is disrupting traditional business models and raising new challenges for regulators and policymakers, but it also offers exciting possibilities for economic growth and innovation.
It's a classic example of how innovation often outpaces regulation. I wonder what kind of policy frameworks will emerge as the sharing economy continues to grow and evolve. It's definitely something UPSC aspirants should keep a close eye on. Now let's shift gears to the world of science, where a new study is shedding light on the health benefits of a particular lifestyle choice.
This research is providing valuable insights into how we can improve our health and well-being through lifestyle choices that promote physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Our lifestyle choices have a profound impact on our health, and this research underscores the importance of making healthy choices that support our overall well-being.
This is a good reminder for all of us, especially those burning the midnight oil for the UPSC, that health should always be a priority. It's not just about studying hard, but also about taking care of your physical and mental well-being. Okay, let's move on to a cultural phenomenon that's bridging generations, the resurgence of interest in traditional crafts.
From weaving and pottery to woodworking and metalwork, these traditional crafts are experiencing a revival as people appreciate the artistry, skill, and cultural heritage embodied in these handmade creations. In an increasingly digital and mass-produced world, there's a growing appreciation for the authenticity, craftsmanship, and cultural significance of traditional crafts.
It's heartwarming to see these traditions being passed down and embraced by younger generations. And for a UPSC aspirant, understanding these cultural nuances and their significance in Indian society is essential. Now let's shift our focus to a global environmental initiative that's making headlines, a collaborative effort to combat plastic pollution in our oceans.
This international collaboration is addressing one of the most pressing environmental challenges of our time, working to reduce plastic waste, clean up our oceans, and protect marine life. Plastic pollution is a global problem that requires a global solution, and this collaborative effort is a positive step towards addressing this critical issue.
It's encouraging to see countries coming together to tackle this challenge. It shows that despite geopolitical differences, there's a shared recognition of the need to protect our planet. Okay, let's wrap up this deep dive with a story that highlights the power of innovation, the launch of a groundbreaking new technology that's poised to transform healthcare access.
This innovative platform is leveraging technology to improve access to healthcare, connect patients with providers, and empower individuals to manage their health more effectively. Technology has the potential to revolutionize healthcare delivery, and this platform is a prime example of how digital tools can improve access to care, empower patients, and create a more efficient and patient-centered healthcare system.
It's exciting to think about the potential this holds, not just for healthcare, but for other sectors as well. It's a reminder that innovation is a driving force for progress, and that by embracing new technologies and approaches, we can address some of the most pressing challenges facing humanity. And there you have it, a whirlwind tour of current affairs, covering everything from policy updates and scientific breakthroughs to cultural trends and global challenges. We've explored the complexities of the world around us from the micro to the macro and highlighted the interconnectedness of seemingly disparate events.
As a UPSC aspirant, your journey is about more than just memorizing facts and figures. It's about developing a nuanced understanding of the forces that shape our world, connecting the dots, and analyzing the trends that will define the future.
So as you continue your preparation, remember to stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay engaged with the world around you. The UPSC exam tests not just your knowledge, but your ability to think critically, analyze information, and form well-rounded perspectives. We hope this deep dive has provided you with valuable insights and a fresh perspective on the current affairs landscape. Until next time, happy studying and best of luck on your UPSC journey.